Sawadee I'm JP Mestanza. Today is Tuesday, July 12th. Welcome to Phuket Extra, brought to you by pvcphukets.com. Preparations are being finalized for the tsunami evacuation drill on July 20th in Phuket's Muang and Talang districts. The Provincial Office of Disaster Prevention and Mitigation said on Tuesday the drill will place emphasis on the warning system, command, and evacuation. Phuket has 3 districts, Muang, Talang, and Katu, but the drill on July 20th will cover only Muang and Talang districts. The date of the tsunami drill in Katu district will be decided later. In Muang district, the drill will be held at Karon Beach, where about 100 people are expected to gather and will run from the beach to take shelter at Wat Suwanakiri. In Talang district, about 100 people are also expected to gather at Nayang Beach, where they will go from the beach to take shelter at Wat Mongkon Vanaram School. The drill scenario will be that there's a tsunami after an earthquake of 7.8 magnitude. The first warning will be given over the 19 warning towers around the island, followed by announcements in 5 languages, English, Thai, Japanese, Chinese, and Russian, reporting the magnitude of the earthquake. The second warning will be for people to evacuate to designated tsunami shelters. There are about 200 shelters in the province. For more, visit thephuket.news.com. The Deputy Director General of the Department of Children and Youth and a Suratani shelter for children and families official who are alleged to have been involved in child sex trafficking in the province turned themselves into authorities. Meanwhile, chemical castration for repeat sexual offenders has been approved by Thailand's Senate. 55-year-old Pisit Pumpipat, the Deputy Director General of the Children's Shelter, and 33-year-old Suat Paupan were implicated in the scandal after police raided 18 locations across Suratani province linked to a sex trafficking ring in November of last year. Pisit allegedly phoned children at the shelter and persuaded them to provide sexual services. Since then, a number of officials have been implicated in the case as well, including soldiers, teachers, and doctors in the area. The chief at the shelter lodged a complaint against the pair over injuries suffered by children at the shelter and threats made against him not to divulge information that might lead to further arrests. Their malfeasances were uncovered between December and February after Pisit attempted to interfere with the police investigation by ordering the shelter chief to hamper attempts to identify victims and customers, while Suat also physically punished the victims for cooperating with police. Authorities say that 48-year-old Sangroj Uwan Kanchana, the son of local politician Chumpol Kanchana, is facing further charges of interfering with the investigation into abuse involving 2 girls aged 17 and 5 other victims aged 14, 13, and 15 in different parts of Suratani province. Sangroj has already been charged over allegations he had sexual intercourse with a girl under 15 who was not his wife and taking away a child from their guardian for sexual purposes. He remains in custody until the trial due to concerns over potential interference in the investigation. After investigation, the 2 suspects will be released without any surety as they surrendered voluntarily before being summoned, according to reports. The news comes as Thailand's Senate unanimously passed a bill allowing the voluntary chemical castration of repeat sex offenders. The law requires the use of the drug to have the consent of the convict and approval by at least 2 specialists, psychiatric and medical. Convicts who agree to receive the treatment will, in return, have their prison terms shortened. The bill will become law when published in the Royal Gazette at a date to be decided by the cabinet. For more, visit thephuket.news.com. Fight choreographer and film director Ramai Danny Moripan is currently being held for ransom in neighboring Myanmar, and his mother is now pleading with the Royal Thai Police to investigate his alleged abduction. Cam Moripan filed a request with Royal Thai Police at their headquarters in Bangkok on Monday and presented videos, photos, and a note allegedly written by her son Ramai, which stated that he had been physically and mentally abused by the United Wa State Army, the UWSA, in addition to demands for a ransom worth 24 million baht for his release. Reports say that the 40-year-old Thai fight choreographer was invited along with his crew to the Myanmar border town of Tachilek for an opportunity to direct a film. After the opportunity failed to materialize, the crew members returned to Thailand, but Ramai was allegedly approached by an influential businessman in the Wa state of Myanmar, and he was offered another job, but was instead allegedly captured by the UWSA on January 4th and has been forced to work until the ransom was paid. Reports say that there's speculation that his abduction was in connection with one of his friends who was involved in drug dealing with businessmen in Myanmar, and that Ramai could be coerced into paying off their 24 million baht debt. According to reports, Ramai is being held in Myanmar's Shan state, about 150 kilometers from the Thai border. But the Assistant National Police Chief, Police Lieutenant General Surachat Hakpang, said that police are working to repatriate him back to Thailand while also looking into the motives behind Ramai's trip to Wa State and the business he was involved in that led to his abduction. For more, visit the link in the description. Governors in all but 2 areas in Thailand are appointed, including the governor of Phuket. A constitutional amendment proposal aims to change all that, as the Move Forward Party submitted to Parliament a piece of legislation that would allow provinces in Thailand to directly elect their governors. In Thailand, all governors except for those in Bangkok and Pattaya are appointed by the Interior Ministry and form the centralized bureaucracy, which critics say hinders local development, as many times incoming governors have no understanding of the needs of the province that they are overseeing, making it difficult for budgets and resources to be allocated where locals feel they should be. The Move Forward Party's proposal would seek changes to Chapter 14 of Thailand's constitution to allow people outside of the capital and Pattaya to also elect their own governors. On Monday, the Move Forward Party members handed over the proposal to the House Speaker, along with a list of 80,000 signatories in support of the legislation. The proposal also seeks to allow local bodies a free hand in the management of public services and infrastructure and give them more budget. What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below. For more, visit the link in the description. National Park officers found a piece of plastic protruding from a dead sea turtle's mouth that washed ashore Mai Khao Beach early on Monday. The hawksbill sea turtle was found on the northern end of Mai Khao Beach at about 8 a.m. on Monday by lifeguards, who notified local officials. City Knot National Park officers stationed nearby soon arrived to examine the remains and found a piece of plastic still protruding from the turtle's mouth, and found that it had become lodged in the turtle's throat, which led to it becoming suffocated. Officers buried the turtle near the beachfront, but later another turtle, a small hatchling, had been pushed ashore by the strong surf at about 1:30 p.m. and it was handed over for care until it's strong enough to be released back into the seas. For more, visit thephuket.news.com. The governor of the Bank of Thailand says that foreign tourist arrivals could reach 8 million this year, a bit lower than the TAT's forecast of 10 million arrivals in 2022. The number of foreign travelers entering Thailand has risen to around 30,000 per day, according to reports. If the increase in numbers continues until the end of this year, international tourist arrivals for 2022 could reach 8 million, higher than the central bank's forecast of 6 million, according to the governor of the Bank of Thailand, which he stated during a seminar on the economic outlook in the south. According to the central bank's economic data on May, there were 1.31 million foreign tourist arrivals during the first 5 months of this year. The numbers for May alone surged to over 520,000 arrivals from 293,000 in April and 211,000 in March. Every extra million foreign tourists increases the country's GDP by 0.4%. As a result, the tourism sector is a key factor supporting the country's economic rebound. In addition, because of its heavy reliance on service and tourism, Southern Thailand's economic recovery is slower than the overall Thai economy. The southern region's labor market has been adversely impacted by the pandemic. Of the South's overall labor market, 20% are in the service and tourism sector, while 11% are in manufacturing. The Thai economy contracted 6.4% in the third quarter of last year, while the economy of Southern Thailand shrank by 12% in that same period. However, both the country's overall economy and the southern economy have been gradually recovering. For more, visit the link in the description. Thanks so much for joining us here on this Tuesday edition of Phuket Extra, brought to you by PVCPhuket.com. We'll be off tomorrow for the religious holiday, but we'll be back on Thursday. Until then, stay classy, Phuket.
Phuket's rapid modernization has made it one of the world's premier holiday destinations. Investors can still buy quality condominiums for as low as $75,000, and luxury properties can go all the way up to $20 million. Condominiums in Phuket are a safe, secure bricks-and-mortar investment offering foreigners freehold ownership. Call or email Thai Residential, Phuket's #1 trusted real estate advisor, to find your perfect Phuket property.